we're going to be learning about two-step equations and angles and how to apply them to geometric figures. So before we can do that, we actually need to learn some vocab words. The first vocab word we're going to learn is vertical angles. Vertical angles are the opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines. Since they're opposite angles, that means their angles are going to be congruent, meaning that they're going to have the same measure or the same angle. Adjacent angles are pairs of angles that share a vertex on one side but do not overlap. These are the biggest vocab words we're going to learn: complementary and supplementary. And you should have heard these before in previous years. Complementary angles are two angles whose measures have a sum of 90 degrees. So one way I want to remember is C is corner, meaning 90 degrees. Supplementary are two angles whose measures have a sum of 180 degrees. Supplementary are two adjacent angles formed by two intersecting lines. So let's say supplementary means straight. So it's 180. So you have two adjacent angles. So this can be angle A and angle B. Angle B and angle A are supplementary because those two angles form a straight line, meaning they equal 180 degrees. All right, let's go into our first example. Our first example is we need to find the measure of EHF. So angle EHF and angle FHG are supplementary. That means if I take the both angles, 2x plus 48, they have to equal 180 degrees. Well, look at there. That's just a two-step equation. So luckily, we know how to solve these. So you're going to draw a line down your equal sign. You get a left side and a right side. So I'm going to look at the left side. So the number on the left side I'm going to look at is the 48. So further away from the variable, the x. And since the 48 is being added, I'm going to subtract 48 from both sides. These 48s cancel out. My 2x comes down, equals 180 minus 48 is equal to 132. Well, now I'm still on my left side, and I got 2x. That 2 is being multiplied. So the opposite of that is I'm going to divide 2 to both sides. So you get x is equal to 66. Well, luckily I did find my missing variable, my x, but my problem is asking me to find the missing angle. So the missing angle I'm missing is angle EHF. Angle EHF is equal to 2x. Well, luckily I just found out x is 66. So we're going to do 2 times 66, which is 132. Meaning our missing angle, EHF, is 132 degrees. All right, let's go on to our next example. Our next example is between two complementary angles. Remember, C for corner, meaning that they equal 90 degrees. So we're going to do the same idea as the previous example. We're going to do 4x plus 7. So I took my first angle, and then I got to take my second one and add 35, which they both means that they equal 90 degrees. Together, I mean. Well, this looks a little bit different. This time we need to combine like terms, reduce our equation so we can work with it. So what I mean by combine like terms is you're going to do 35 plus 7. Well, 35 plus 7 is equal to 42. So now I have 4x plus 42 equals 90. And now I'm just going to solve this like normal. So I draw my line. I got a left side and a right side. I'm going to look at the left side again. You're going to look at 42. Well, since that 42 is being added, we're going to subtract 42 from both sides. Bring down my equal sign. Now I have 4x is equal to 48. Well, since that 4 is being multiplied, you're going to do the opposite and divide 4 into both sides. And you get x is equal to 12. So I'm going to put x down here as x is equal to 12 because this is not my answer. This is just showing me my missing variable. What I need to do now is find my missing angle. The missing angle I'm missing is ZXY. So my angle ZXY is right here. It says it is equal to 4x plus 7. Well, luckily, I just figured out my x was 12. So we're going to do 4 times 12 plus 7, Well, 4 times 12 is 48. You're going to add 7 to that, which gives you 55. So my missing angle is 55 degrees. Okay, let's try 2 more. So the next one I have is find the measure of JML. So I need to find JML, which is right here, denoted by 3x. Well, that means if this angle and this angle are supplementary, that means they create a straight line. So that means I can take 3x plus 54 and make that equal to 180. So that's where my equation is going to go, and I'm going to put my equation down here to solve it. So we're going to solve this equation like normal. Draw your line. You got a left side and a right side. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at the 54. Well, since that 54 is being added, you're going to subtract 54 from both sides. Bring down my equal sign. These cancel out. Gets me 3x. Okay, so you're going to subtract these. And you're going to get 126. So since that 3 is being multiplied, you're going to divide 3 to both sides. And you get x is equal to 42. So my x equals 42, okay? But again, that's not our answer. Our answer is to find this missing angle. The angle is denoted as 3 times x. Well, luckily, I just figured out x is 42. So we're going to do 3 times 42, which is equal to 126. So my missing angle is 126 degrees. All right, let's do one more. One more. The measure of angle A is 63 degrees and is complementary to the measure of angle B. If the measure of angle B is 9x, what's the value of x? Okay, well, this one's without a diagram, but it does have some pretty important information. For one, it tells us it's complementary. Complementary means 90 degrees. So that means if I take angle A, which is 63 degrees, and add angle B, which is 9x, when I add them together, they have to be 90 degrees. Well, look at there. This is a 2-step equation. Let's solve it. So draw a line down it. You got a left side and you got a right side. So I'm going to look at the left side, and I'm going to look at 63 because it's further away from the variable. Well, that's a positive 63. So you got to subtract 63 from both sides. So you subtract 63 from the left side and subtract 63 from the right side. So this cancels out. I bring down my 9x and my equal sign. And this will be 27. 90 minus 63 is 27. Well, finally, our last step. It says 9 times x. So since the 9 is being multiplied, you're going to divide 9 to both sides. This cancels out. 27 divided by 9 is 3. Well, let's make sure this is actually what we're looking for. So it says the measure of angle A is 63 degrees is complementary to the measure of angle B. If the measure of angle B is 9x, what's the value of x? Okay, well, we have solved it. We found our value of x. Well, let's say if we was finding the measure of B. All you have to do is take measure B, which is 9x, plug in the 3. So it's going to be 9 times 3, which is 27. So that's nothing really different. This is basically taking what we've learned before and applying angles to it. Again, hopefully this will help, and go on to the next video to look at an example from your homework. Thank you.